You wake up, groggy and disoriented, lying in the shadow of something vast, something ancient. Your body feels heavy, almost as though you've been asleep for an eternity. The ground beneath you is solid and warm, pulsating with a strange energy that you can't quite place. You blink, trying to make sense of your surroundings, and the dim light makes your eyes squint. It's as if you've stepped into a dream that feels far too real. The world around you is strange, not quite night, but not day either. The sun's glow filters through massive trees, their twisted roots weaving into the earth like the fingers of ancient gods, stretching across the land. Their branches, thick and heavy with age, stretch high into the sky, blocking out much of the light. Shadows fall in odd angles, not natural, not of this world. They seem to twist and writhe as though the trees themselves are alive, watching, waiting. You rub your eyes, trying to clear the fog from your mind, but it doesn't help. You can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. A strange, familiar hum fills the air, a low, thrumming vibration that you can feel in the pit of your stomach. It is both comforting and unsettling at once, as if the very pulse of the world itself is speaking to you. You take a slow, deep breath, trying to calm your racing heart, but your senses are heightened now, sharp and aware in a way that they've never been before. The smell of damp earth and something else, something metallic like the scent of ancient iron, fills your nose. You rise to your feet, your legs unsteady at first, but quickly finding their balance. The ground beneath you feels different, as though the earth itself is breathing. You take another step, feeling the heat of the soil beneath your bare feet. There's a strange power here, something primal and ancient, and it calls to you as your surroundings begin to make sense. You can't help but feel a sense of familiarity, though. In truth, you don't recognize this place at all. The ruins around you, broken columns and shattered statues, tell stories of an empire long gone, and yet their beauty remains. The towering structures that seem to pierce the sky are the remnants of something divine, something sacred. But these are not the gods you know. These are different, forgotten. Your thoughts drift as you feel an almost involuntary pull toward something distant. You can't see it, but you know it's there. The pull is magnetic, like an invisible thread that draws you forward. And that's when you hear it. A faint sound, almost a whisper, but it cuts through the silence. Voices, the gods. You listen closely, straining to catch the words, but they are too far off to faint. The voices are not comforting, though. They are cold. You strain to hear, but the more you listen, the more you realize they are not speaking to you. They are speaking about you. The realization sends a chill down your spine. The gods have been speaking of you all along, but not with love or care. They are discussing something darker, something that has yet to unfold. You shiver, feeling the weight of their unseen gaze pressing down on you. As the sound of the voices grows clearer, you catch snippets of their conversation. The tone of their words is harsh, full of fear and anger. They speak of betrayal, of power shifting, of something stirring in the dark. You try to make sense of it all, but the pieces refuse to come together. Why would the gods speak of such things? Why are they afraid of someone? The question lingers in the air like a specter. Then it clicks. They're afraid of you. The thought is so sudden, so unexpected, that it takes you a moment to process. You've always known your place, always accepted your role in their grand design. You were born beneath their gaze, a tool to be used to do their bidding. But now, now you understand. They are afraid of you, and they should be. There's something inside you, something raw, something untamed. The gods have been watching you, sure, but they've also been holding you back, keeping you in check. And for the first time, you realize that their power is not absolute. They too can be defeated. They too can fall. With that realization comes a strange calm. The questions, the fears, the doubts that had once gripped you begin to dissolve, replaced by a newfound clarity. There is something more to this world than the gods, more to your existence than servitude. You're not sure how you know this, but it is an undeniable truth. The power is yours to claim. You take another step forward, and this time, the ground beneath your feet feels different. It is no longer warm with the pulse of ancient power, is yours. You've crossed an invisible line, and you can feel it deep within you. The hum of the earth has changed, resonating with something that belongs to you now. It's a dangerous thought, but it's one that feels right. For the first time, you hear something else, something new. It's faint at first, a whisper at the edge of your consciousness, but it grows louder with each passing moment. A call, beckoning you. You follow it, feeling the pull in your chest, like a compass guiding you toward your destiny. There's a weight to this decision, a finality to it. The gods may have once been everything, but they are not anymore. You are something more now, something new. You can feel the power growing, twisting within you like a storm building on the horizon. As you walk, your surroundings blur. The ancient trees, the crumbling ruins, the strange ancient hum of the world, they all fade into the background, overtaken by the overwhelming feeling of you, the weight of your newfound power, the knowledge that the gods' time is drawing to a close fills your every thought. Your heartbeat quickens. You're no longer afraid. You've found your place in the world, and it is not beneath the gods, it is above them. For the first time, you feel the spark of something new, something dangerous, something vital. And with it, you realize one undeniable truth. The gods are no longer the ones in control. The whispers grow louder, more insistent, calling you forward. You move through the ruins with newfound purpose, the weight of your steps echoing like thunder in the still air. You don't know what you're seeking, but you know you must continue. There's something in the distance, hidden among the overgrown vines and shattered stone, something that belongs to you, or something that will make it all make sense. The tension in the air thickens with every step. It's as if the world itself knows what's happening, as if the earth itself is trembling beneath your feet. You can't shake the feeling that you're walking through a dream, but this dream is darker, more intense. And then you see it, a monument, half swallowed by time and nature. It rises from the ground like a silent sentinel, imposing and ancient. The stone is worn, smooth from centuries of wind and rain, but there's a beauty in Eton, unnatural beauty that sings of power. You approach cautiously, every fiber of your being aware of the weight of the moment. Your breath catches in your throat as you touch the stone. It's warm, just like the earth beneath your feet. The hum, that strange, familiar hum you've been feeling, comes from within. The stone is alive with the memories of the past, of everything that has led you here. For the first time, you understand what it is. This is a relic of the gods, a symbol of their power, but it is also a key to something you can't fully comprehend yet. The air around you shifts, as if responding to your touch. The moment you lay your hand on the stone, a sudden surge of energy rushes through you, lighting every nerve, every muscle, every cell. It's overwhelming, dizzying, like standing at the edge of a cliff, gazing into an abyss. But in that abyss, you see yourself, a different version of yourself. Stronger, more focused, in control. The surge of energy fades, leaving only the sharp clarity of purpose. Your mind races with possibilities. What could this mean? What power is this? And why have the gods hidden it from you? For centuries they have ruled without question, their divine arrogance unchecked. But now you feel it, their grip on the world, on you, slipping. They've kept secrets from you. They've kept power from you. And now the tide is turning. You pull your hand away from the stone, your heart pounding in your chest. But as you step back, you realize something has changed. The world around you feels different. The air is thicker, heavier. It's as though the ground itself has recognized you. The gods might still have their thrones in the heavens, their castles in the sky, but you have the earth at your feet, A deep breath fills your lungs, the realization settling in. You have power, and not just any power. You have the power to tear it all down, to expose the gods for what they truly are. The thought sends a thrill through you, an undeniable excitement. You've always been a pawn in their game, always been the weapon they wielded to maintain their empire. But no longer. You are no longer bound by their will. You have broken free, and now you can shape the world however you see fit. You can't ignore the rush of exhilaration, the intoxicating freedom of it all. But as the excitement swells, a small, insidious thought lingers in the back of your mind. What will it cost? The gods have always operated with one simple rule: power at all costs. They've used their strength to subjugate, to control, to manipulate. But you've learned something they never taught you. Power unchecked has a price. The whispers of the stone seem to confirm that there is a cost, and it will be steep. But that's the thing about power. Once you have it, you're willing to pay whatever price it demands. You stand there for a moment, letting the reality of your situation settle. There's no turning back now. You've crossed a line you didn't even know existed. But now that you see it, now that you understand, you can't unsee it. You feel a sense of inevitability, as though the path you're on has already been written, and all you have to do is follow it. But the gods, they are watching. You can feel their eyes on you, even now, even from far away, and you know deep in your bones that they will not let you go easily. They won't just let you walk away, let you break free of their control. They'll fight you. They'll try to stop you, but it won't be enough. Not anymore. You turn away from the monument, the weight of your decisions settling on your shoulders. You know what comes next. The gods will come for you. They will send their champions, their forces, their divine wrath. But you'll be ready. You must be ready. The stone has given you a glimpse into what's possible, a taste of the power you could command. But you need more. You need to know everything. The first step is to find allies. You don't know who you can trust yet, but you'll figure it out. There are others like you, out there others, who've been forgotten, discarded, pushed aside. By the gods, they will be your army, and together you will bring them down. But there's something else, something more pressing. The stone, the power it holds, it's just the beginning. And as you leave the ruins behind, you can't help but feel that the gods are already preparing for what's to come. The storm is building, and you're at the center of it. The days blur together as you trek through forgotten lands, your mind consumed by the weight of your newfound power. You know what comes next. The gods will not simply let you walk away. You've become something they cannot control, and they will stop at nothing to reclaim what you've taken from them. But the more you think about it, the more you realize that reclaiming their power is only half the battle. The other half is discovering your true potential. The stone, the hum in the air, the strange sense of familiarity was only a glimpse. Now you need the full picture. It's a strange thing, walking in the wake of gods knowing their empire is crumbling underfoot, but seeing no sign of it from the outside. You'd expected chaos, upheaval, riots in the streets, the land trembling beneath the weight of their downfall. But no, everything is eerily still. The gods. Rain is fading, but it's happening behind closed doors, behind the veil of clouds that keep their temples high above the earth. The mortals, the ones who suffer under their rule, are oblivious. And yet something in you is growing, a feeling deep within you that you cannot deny. The power you've touched, the stone that called you, it's only the beginning. The gods are not invincible. Far from it. They've made one fatal mistake. They've underestimated you. They believe you are like all the others, easily molded, easily bent to their will. But you are different. You feel it every time you close your eyes. You are more than a servant. You are a force unto yourself, one that cannot be bound. The first test of your growing strength comes sooner than expected. You stumble upon a hidden enclave, nestled deep within a forest, where you encounter a group of outcasts. It's no accident that they are here. You can feel it in your gut. The same pull that brought you to the stone calls to you here. These are the people who know the truth about the gods, the ones who have suffered because of them. They've lived in the shadows, cast aside like broken tools, never once able to break free from their divine captors. But now, in their eyes, you see something else, a glimmer of hope. They are waiting for something. Waiting for you. They don't know what you've done. They don't know the full extent of your power, but they feel it, and that's enough. They listen to you, not because you demand it, but because they believe in the same thing you do. Freedom. The gods have used their strength to crush them, to bend them to their will. But no more. With you, they see a chance to rise up, and you can feel their energy, their belief syncing with yours. It's as if the very air around you hums with their anticipation. You are no longer alone in your journey. You have found allies, and together you will bring down the gods. But there's more to it than just this group of rebels. You know it deep down, there are others like them, hidden in the shadows, scattered across the world. They, too, have suffered in silence, waiting for a sign, a leader to guide them. And now, that leader is you. But even with these allies, there's still the matter of what the gods will do in response to your actions. They will retaliate. They will not let this insurrection go unpunished. The first strike comes swiftly, unexpectedly. It's not the gods themselves, but their champions, mortal warriors empowered by divine gifts. These warriors are sent to silence you, to crush the rebellion before it can gain momentum. But you are ready. You've anticipated their moves, and with your newfound allies, you take them down with ease. You've learned quickly, adapting to the power you now wield, and soon, these champions of the gods are nothing but a distant memory. It's the first of many victories, and it fills you with a sense of invincibility. If these mortals, given a fraction of the gods' power, are this weak, what does that say about the gods themselves? Yet, as the dust settles and the bodies of the fallen fade into the background, a strange thought enters your mind. The victory feels hollow somehow. It should be a triumph, and it is, but it's also unsettling. You've defeated these warriors without breaking a sweat, but they were only pawn stools of the gods. Yes, but pawns nonetheless. You haven't yet faced the gods themselves. You haven't even begun to challenge the true power that looms over you, and that thought lingers. As the adrenaline of the battle fades, you are left with the stark reality of what's to come. The gods will retaliate. They will not stop until you are nothing but a memory, a fading shadow in the annals of history. They'll send their most powerful to hunt you down, to break you, and when they do, you'll need more than mere power to survive. You'll need allies who are as committed to your cause as you are, and you'll need to be ruthless. The gods are weak, yes, but they are still dangerous. You take a deep breath, steeling yourself for what lies ahead. You've begun something. You cannot stop. The wheels are in motion now, and you can feel the tension in the air, like a storm waiting to break. You'll need to move quickly, to build your forces, to gather as much strength as you can, before the gods send their full wrath down upon you. You can already feel their eyes on you, like a weight pressing down, knowing that they are aware of your existence. They are coming for you, and you won't be ready until you've gathered the strength to face them. The war has begun, but you are no longer just a tool, no longer just a servant. You are a titan, and the gods will learn that the price of betrayal is higher than they ever imagined. The weight of your decision sits on your shoulders, heavier than any armor. You've become something the gods never anticipated, something they can't control. But as you look ahead, you realize that you're still far from where you need to be. The power you've seized from the gods has given you strength, but there's more to this rebellion than simple might. You'll need strategy, cunning, and most of all, the resolve to see this through to the end. The world you once knew, the one ruled by divine beings who believed themselves untouchable, is crumbling. And you are the one pulling it down. The first battles were easy, almost too easy. You've become a symbol of defiance, a beacon for those who have long suffered under the gods' iron grip. The outcasts, the forgotten, the oppressed, they all flock to you, drawn by the promise of freedom, by the vision you offer. It's a heady feeling to stand before them and see their faces light up with hope. But as you look at them, you understand that hope alone won't win this war. These people are strong, yes, but they are not invincible. The gods have power beyond what you've ever known. To you, too quickly, is a double-edged sword. The gods have given you the tools to overthrow them, but they've also left you with the weight of an uncertain future. You can feel the ambition growing inside of you, pushing you forward, but it's a dangerous thing. The more you gain, the more you realize that you can never be satisfied. The thirst for power is insatiable. As you prepare for the next stage of your rebellion, you take stock of your forces. You have the numbers, the strategy, and the will. You've encountered their mortal champions, their divine agents, but those are only pawns in a much larger game. The gods themselves are still untouchable, still perched high above you in their temples of marble and gold, untarnished by time. They are not invincible. You've seen their flaws, their weaknesses, but they are still gods. They have powers that you have yet to comprehend. That's when you realize you need to understand their power. Not just the tricks they use to keep mortals in check, but the essence of it. What makes them gods? What gives them the right to rule? These questions begin to gnaw at you, and you know that finding the answers is the key to your victory. But where do you begin? What secret can you uncover that will finally level the playing field? The answer, as it often is closer than you think. You begin to search for old texts, forgotten relics, the ancient knowledge that once belonged to the gods themselves. You delve deep into the ruins of forgotten civilizations, long buried beneath the earth, their knowledge wiped from history by the gods' will. What you find is a library, an underground vault filled with the whispers of the past. The gods' secrets are here, hidden in the shadows. The ancient scrolls, the weight of their knowledge presses down on you. This is more than just power. It is the history of the gods, their rise to dominance, and the rituals they use to cement their place above all others. But there's more. Hidden within these scrolls is a name that you have heard only in passing, in whispers among the few who dare speak of the old times, Kronos. The name strikes you like a bolt of lightning. You've heard of Kronos before, of course. The primordial titan who once ruled over time itself, before he was overthrown by the gods. His power was legendary, but it was said to have been sealed away, locked in a cage that no one could open. But the scrolls tell a different story. Kronos wasn't defeated. He was merely imprisoned, hidden away by the gods to prevent him from returning. And now, the key to his release is within your grasp. The realization hits you like a wave. If you can unlock the power of Kronos, you will have the ultimate weapon against the gods, time itself. The ability to bend time to your will, to rewrite history, to undo the gods' rise to power. You could crush their empire before it ever began. You could erase them from existence entirely. The possibilities are endless, but there's a cost. The power of Kronos is not something that can be wielded lightly. It is dangerous, volatile, and not without consequence. To control time is to become its servant. Every decision, every action will be weighed against the immense power you hold. The risk is immense, but you know what must be done. You've already come so far. They're champions, and you've emerged victorious. Now, the final step is within reach. All you have to do is release Kronos and seize his power for yourself. The choice is clear, and you're the only one who can do it. But as the storm of possibilities churns inside your mind, you feel the weight of what you're about to do. You are no longer a pawn. You are no longer the tool of a higher power. Is a power that no one, not even the gods, can take from you. The moment of decision has come. The world is at your feet. All that remains is to reach out and claim it. The knowledge of Chronos calls to you like an ancient forbidden melody, reverberating through the depths of your mind. It's a siren's song that pulls at the very core of your being, promising untold power, but with an undertone that hints at something darker, something far more dangerous. You cannot ignore it. You cannot unlearn what you've discovered. The power of time, the ability to manipulate it, to bend it to your will, it is yours for the taking. But it's not a gift. It is a burden. You feel the weight of it, the immense responsibility that comes with such a force. As you delve deeper into the scrolls, you realize that Chronos' power was never meant to be controlled by mere mortals or even by gods. The very nature of time is wild, untamed, a force that cannot be fully comprehended. The gods may have locked him away, fearing his potential, fearing that his return would undo their reign. But now, in the quiet solitude of this forgotten vault, you are on the verge of releasing him. And once you do, nothing will ever be the same. The process of unlocking Chronos' power is complex and treacherous. It's not simply a matter of reading the scrolls and chanting an incantation. No, the gods were far too clever for that. They knew that anyone who sought Chronos' strength would have to face a series of trials, tests of will, of cunning, and of heart. The first trial is one of understanding. You must fully comprehend the nature of time itself, its endless cycle of birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. The gods have long claimed dominion over time, shaping it to suit their needs, controlling the flow of existence with their divine hands. But time is not something to be controlled. It is a force to be respected. It cannot be shaped like clay. It must be understood, embraced. You spend days, then weeks, studying the ancient texts, piecing together the puzzle of Chronos' power. You learn that time is not linear. It does not move forward in a single direction. It twists and loops, folds back on itself, creating paradoxes, rifts, and ruptures. The gods were able to manipulate time because they understood its flow, but they never truly controlled it. They merely bent it to their will. But you are different. You don't just seek control, you seek mastery. You want to break free from the gods, hold on time. You want to reshape it. With each passing day, your understanding deepens. You begin to see time not as a straight path, but as a vast ocean you can navigate, ride the currents of, and perhaps even change. The scrolls speak of an ancient ritual, one that requires a deep connection with Chronos. The ritual is a dangerous one that demands a perfect balance between knowledge and instinct. It is a fine line to walk, and one that could easily unravel you if you're not careful. The second trial is one of trust. You must trust in your own ability to wield Chronos' power. The gods feared this power because they knew it was beyond their understanding. They believed that only they were fit to rule, to control the flow of time. But what if they were wrong? What if they had kept the truth hidden to maintain their own supremacy? You think back to your own journey, the way you've risen, the way you've learned, adapted, and overcome the gods' obstacles. You are no longer a pawn in their game. You are the player. And this time, you will set the rules. But there is a cost. The more you learn about time, the more you realize that you cannot separate yourself from it. You are not merely a spectator. You are part of the current, swept along with its ebb and flow. The ritual will not only unlock Chronos' power, it will bond you with time itself. You will become one with it. The gods have kept this secret from the mortals for a reason. To control time is to lose your own sense of self, to become entwined with its ceaseless march. You will not just wield time, you will be time. And then, as you stand on the precipice of this realization, the third trial comes. It is not one of intellect or power, it is one of sacrifice. The scrolls warn that to unlock Chronos' power, you must give up something irreplaceable, a piece of your soul, a fragment of your essence. It is the final test, the moment where you will prove your worth. To embrace time's power fully, You must relinquish something that cannot be regained. What will you sacrifice? A memory, a relationship, your humanity itself. You stand at the threshold of this decision, feeling the weight of the question pressing on you. But as you look into the void, into the dark, swirling vortex that represents the power of Kronos, you know there is no choice. The gods must be stopped. And if this is the price, then so be it. The moment you make the decision, the ground beneath your feet seems to tremble, as if the world itself acknowledges your choice. With the ritual complete, the room around you seems to blur. The scrolls, the walls, the very air shimmer and dissolve into mist. You are no longer in the vault. You are somewhere else, somewhere timeless. The world shifts and bends around you, and you can feel the pull of Kronos' power, flowing into you, filling every fiber of your being. Time itself becomes your ally, your weapon, your burden. You are both the storm and the calm, the creator and the destroyer. The power of Kronos surges through you, overwhelming in its intensity, and yet there is a strange peace in it. You understand you have become the master of time, and with this mastery, you will bring the gods to their knees. But as you stand there, feeling the pulse of time within you, a flicker of doubt crosses your mind. What happens now? What is the true cost of this power? You've taken the step, you've crossed the line, and now there is no going back. The gods will feel your presence, and when they do, they will not be merciful. But you will be ready. The storm is coming, and you are the one who will unleash it. The moment you release Kronos' power, the very fabric of reality seems to bend around you. For an instant, you feel the weight of all of existence, past, present, and future, settling into your body, merging with you as if you have always been a part of it. Time and all its complexities pulses within you, raw and untamed. It is a sensation that is both intoxicating and terrifying. You are no longer the person you were. You are something else, something more. But as the waves of power surge through you, the initial euphoria begins to fade, and a cold realization sinks in. This power isn't just a tool. It is a chain, a responsibility. You are no longer a mere rebel. You are now a force that can undo the very essence of the god's existence, but also one that can unravel the fabric of reality itself. The paradox weighs on your mind, like a storm cloud on the horizon, ready to burst at any moment. You've gained the power to change everything, but in doing so, you've become bound to it. There is no longer a separation between you and time. You are one with it. And as you stand in the shifting void of your new reality, you begin to see the cost of what you've done. Time's current flows around you like a river, swift and unyielding, pulling you in every direction at once. Every heartbeat, every breath. You take ripples through history, echoing through the corridors of past and future. The world you once knew is gone, replaced by something far greater, yet far more perilous. Your every action now carries the weight of potential consequences, each one reverberating through time like a stone thrown into a vast ocean. It's overwhelming. The gods may have been able to shape and bend time, but they were never truly one. With it, they had their limitations, their bounds, their controls. But you are different. You stand at the center of the storm, the master of it, and the realization sends a jolt of cold fear through you. The question now lingers, whispering at the edges of your mind. What happens when you lose control? You look around, your warping as you grasp the full extent of your power. Time stretches and contracts in strange, disorienting ways. The air thickens with the sensation of possibility, but with that possibility comes risk. There is no certainty now, only the unknown. In one blink, you can shift into the past, reliving moments long since past. In the next, you can peer into the future, catching fleeting glimpses of what might come. But each glimpse feels like a fragile thread that could snap at any moment. Every action you take could alter the course of events, and the weight of that realization nearly overwhelms you. But the gods, They will feel this. You can already sense them stirring, sensing the change in the air, the shift in the balance of power. The storm you've unleashed will not go unnoticed. They know what you've done, and you know that they will not simply sit back and allow this to continue. The gods have always feared Kronos, feared the power to alter time itself. They locked it away because they knew no one could be trusted with such control. And yet, here you are. You are both the hero and the villain in this unfolding tale. The gods may have raised you to be their weapon, but now you are the one who controls the game. They will come for you, of that you are certain. But the gods are arrogant, and their arrogance will be their downfall. You have the power to change the course of history, to erase their influence from the world entirely. But the question is, what kind of world will you create? You feel the pull of the future, that tantalizing sense of infinite possibility, as if you are standing on the edge of a precipice, ready to leap. The future is open to you, but so are the consequences. Every choice you make will ripple through time, shaping the world in ways you can't yet comprehend. It's intoxicating. It's terrifying, and you realize that you are standing at the crossroads of your own destiny. The gods may have kept their power in the heavens, but you are grounded, tied to the earth, and it is there that you will make your stand. In this moment, you make a vow. You will not become the tyrant they fear you will be. You will not be corrupted. By this power, you will fight to create a new world, a world free from the shackles of divine rule. But the price of this freedom will not come without sacrifice. You will have to lose parts of yourself along the way, parts of your humanity, as you reshape the future. And you accept that, but before you can truly begin your revolution, before you can set your plan into motion, you know that the gods must be confronted. The time for hiding in the shadows is over. You will no longer wait for the gods to strike first. You will make your move. And so, you set out, leaving behind the vault and its endless secrets. The world calls to you, and you can feel the pulse of time, of fate, beckoning you forward. The gods will come, yes, but they will not know what hit them. You've walked the line between fate and free will, and now you will shape history with your own hands. The storm is coming, and you are its eye. The march toward your confrontation with the gods feels inevitable now. Each step you take is calculated, filled with purpose, and yet the burden of your newfound power hangs over you like a shadow. You've crossed a threshold that cannot be undone, and as the reality of it all settles into your bones, you begin to understand the true cost of your rebellion. The gods are not just figures of power, they are symbols of control, of order, and they will fight tooth and nail to maintain their reign. And yet you, with the power of Kronos coursing through you, have become the embodiment of chaos. You are the antithesis of their reign, and soon you will be the force that topples them. But as you draw closer to your goal, you realize that this is no longer about vengeance. It never was. It's about more than just revenge against those who used you. It's about the very nature of existence itself. The gods created a system that kept mortals in chains, that made them believe they were insignificant, unworthy of their own freedom, and that system must end. As the rebellion grows, you gather more and more followers, each of them yearning for the same thing: freedom. But it's not just freedom from the gods that drives them. It's the freedom to shape their own lives, to carve out their own destinies, without the gods pulling the strings. You've become a symbol for them. They no longer see you as just the titan who turned against the deities. They see you as their savior, the one who will lead them into a new era, one where they are no longer bound by the gods' dictates. But with this growing support comes the first crack in your resolve. There are whispers among your followers, and at first you try to ignore them. The question is simple, but it is a dangerous one. What happens after the gods fall? You've spent so long focusing on tearing down their empire that you haven't thought about what comes next. What will replace it? Can you truly build a new world without becoming the very thing you despise? The gods have always been the rulers of this world, and their reign, for all its flaws, has kept order. What happens when that order is shattered? Chaos, anarchy. You've seen the way mortals are capable of cruelty, of violence. You've witnessed it firsthand, how they turn on one another when left unchecked. The idea that they could be trusted to govern themselves is unsettling. You've become a force for revolution, yes, but you've also become something else, a potential tyrant. And the realization is jarring. You are not above the gods, and you are not free from their temptations. The very power that gives you the strength to overthrow them also threatens to consume you. It promises you control over time, control over everything. But what kind of future will you create if you let that power define you? The doubt grows as you draw closer to the gods. Their palaces loom on the horizon, their towers rising like fortresses in the sky, untouched by the world below. The gods are preparing for war, and you can feel their eyes on you, burning with the weight of their fury. The closer you get, the more you can sense their presence, an overwhelming, oppressive force that seems to choke the very air. But it's not just their physical power. You can feel it's the weight of their belief in their own superiority, in their divine right to rule. They will not bow to you. They will not surrender. And you know that when you face them, there will be no turning back. One of you will fall, and you are determined that it will not be you. But as you draw closer, your thoughts turn inward once more. What if you've become the thing you've hated most? You've been so focused on the gods that you've lost sight of the larger picture. The goal was always freedom, wasn't it? Not just freedom for yourself, but freedom for everyone. But now, you see how fragile that freedom is. The world is not black and white. It is not as simple as overthrowing one tyrant and replacing them with another. You've seen enough to know that power is dangerous, that it warps those who wield it. It's easy to become blinded by it, to mistake your own desires for the good of others. And yet, as you stare at the gods' palaces on the horizon, a small, quiet voice inside you reminds you of the cost of inaction. The gods must fall. They cannot be allowed to continue their reign. You remember the countless lives destroyed by their arrogance, the thousands who have suffered in silence for centuries, waiting for someone to rise against them. If you do not stand against them, who will? The storm that has been building in you for so long now bursts. The answer is clear. You cannot afford to be weak. The gods are too powerful, too entrenched in their dominion over the world. You cannot afford to doubt. You must face them head on, and you must be willing to make whatever sacrifice is necessary to bring them down. As you prepare for the final battle, your heart pounds with a mix of excitement and fear. You've come this far, and now it is time to confront the gods. You have learned their secrets. You have unlocked the power of Kronos. You have gathered an army, and you stand ready to reshape the world. But in this moment, as you face the precipice of war, you also know that the world you create after this battle will be just as fragile as the one you tear down. The question is, what kind of world will you leave behind? You push those thoughts aside. You've made your choice. The gods must be defeated, and you will not stop until that is accomplished. The storm has arrived, and you are the one who will guide it to its destination. The gods are waiting, and so are you. The final march toward the gods' palaces feels like walking toward your destiny. The weight of your decision presses upon you, yet you feel the steady pulse of power running through your veins. The earth beneath your feet hums with the same energy that surges through you. You are not just a part of the world now. You are a force within it, a storm ready to unleash. The armies you've gathered move behind you, a sea of faces filled with hope, determination, and fear. They look to you for guidance, for strength, for the promise of a future free from the gods' oppression. And yet, as you lead them, you can't shake the gnawing sense that this revolution, this freedom, may come at a cost greater than you ever imagined. As you approach the gates of the gods' fortresses, you can feel the air thickening. The divine presence is overwhelming, suffocating, like the weight of centuries pressing down upon you. The gods are aware of your approach. You know they've felt the disturbance in time, felt the ripple of power as it broke free from their control. They are waiting for you, preparing for the inevitable clash that has been set in motion. You can see their grand palaces on the horizon, their spires reaching into the sky like jagged knives, their walls gleaming with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. They are untouchable, their dominion unchallenged. For now, you stand before their gates, facing the army of God's champions, their divine servants, and all the forces they've gathered to stop you. It's a scene unlike any other, a battlefield unlike any other. This is not just a war between mortals and immortals. This is a war between ideologies, between the idea that the gods have the right to rule and the idea that freedom can exist without the shackles of divine tyranny. But even as you stand there, the enormity of the task ahead weighs heavily on you. The gods are not weak. They are the architects of existence, the keepers of order, the rulers of time and space. They will not bow easily, and neither will you. The battle begins with a single, deafening roar. Your forces charge forward, and the clash of weapons, the screams of battle, fill the air. But it's not just weapons that are at play here. It's power, raw and untamed, coursing through the very fabric of the world. You feel it in your body as you unleash the full force of Chronos' power, bending time around you, speeding yourself up, slowing your enemies down. The gods may have control over certain aspects of time, but you are its master. With a mere thought, you shift the tides of battle. You watch as time bends, as the world around you warps and shatters under the weight of your will. The gods send their champions, their most formidable warriors, to stop you. But they are no match for your power. They are mere shadows, echoes of the divine, nothing compared to what you have become. You move through the battlefield with ease, your enemies falling before you, their attacks slowed, their movements clumsy, as you bend time itself to suit your needs. Each strike you make is a strike against the gods' tyranny. Each victory, no matter how small, is a step closer to the end of their reign. You feel the rush of adrenaline, the taste of victory, but it is fleeting. The gods are not so easily defeated as you continue your advance. You begin to sense something else, something far darker, lurking in the depths of the battle. The gods are not merely fighting to preserve their power. They are fighting for something more, something ancient, something primal. They are fighting to protect the very foundation of existence. Without them, the world as you know it would crumble. The fabric of reality itself is tied to their existence. You've seen it in the scrolls, in the ancient texts. Without the gods, there can be no balance. The universe would descend into chaos, into an endless void where nothing could exist, not even time itself. This truth hits you like a slap in the face. You are not just fighting for freedom. You are fighting to destroy the very order that sustains the world. You hesitate, your grip tightening on your weapon. The weight of this realization crashes down on you. For a brief moment, you feel doubt creeping in. You've spent so long focused on the gods' oppression, on their cruelty, that you never considered the possibility that their downfall might come at the cost of everything. The world will not exist without them. Without the gods, there can be no time, there can be no life. And yet, you can't turn back. The gods have to fall. They have built their empire on the suffering of others. They have forced mortals into submission, using their divine power to manipulate and control. They have used the very fabric of reality to shape their world, and in doing so, they have bound themselves to it. If they fall, then so be it. A new world will rise from the ashes, one free from their grip. But as you push forward, a voice calls out from the depths of your mind. It's faint, but you can hear it. It's the voice of Chronos speaking directly to you. He warns you, not of the gods, but of yourself. The power you wield is dangerous, volatile. It has the potential to destroy not only the gods, but the world itself. The price of using Chronos' power is steep, and it's a price you've already begun to pay. You feel it in your bones, in your very essence. The more you use this power, the more you become one with it. The more you manipulate time, the more you lose yourself in its flow. The gods are coming. You are close now, so close to bringing down their reign. But you feel the gravity of your actions, the toll they are taking on you. The very fabric of time bends and creaks under the strain of your will. It is a delicate balance, and you can feel it slipping. The battle rages around you, but you know this fight is far from over. You've come too far to turn back now. The gods must fall, and you, whether you want to admit it or not, are the one who will bring them down. The gods have begun to retreat, their champions falling before your might. The ground beneath you trembles, not from the force of your strikes, but from the overwhelming weight of what you've unleashed. To crack. The world is a reflection of time itself, fragile, bending under the pressure of your will. And as you move deeper into the heart of their stronghold, the looming sense of urgency builds. You're on the cusp of victory, yet you feel the terrifying presence of the gods drawing nearer. They know you're here. They know that this battle will determine their fate. But it's not just their fate that hangs in the balance, it's yours as well. The gods are powerful, no doubt, but they are also proud, and their pride has been their greatest weakness. They have underestimated you. They have underestimated the power that flows through you, the chaos you embody. But now, as you near their thrones, the full extent of their desperation becomes clear. The heavens themselves seem to darken, the sky roiling with ominous clouds, as if the very universe is responding to your defiance. You can feel the weight of their eyes upon you, the searing gaze of beings who once thought themselves beyond reproach. Your army continues to fight, but it's becoming clear that this battle is no longer about numbers. But their true power lies in the divine beings that reside at the highest reaches of their world. They are the ones who hold the true reins of time and space, the gods themselves, and you know that they are preparing to confront you. The air around you crackles with an electric charge, the atmosphere heavy with expectation. You stand before the gates of their palace, towering above you like a mountain made of light and stone. The gates swing open, and you step forward, the ground quaking beneath you. This is it, the moment you fought for, bled for, sacrificed for. The gods are waiting. They have always been waiting for this moment, just as you have. As you enter the divine hall, the sheer magnificence of the place overwhelms you. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, a realm that seems to stretch endlessly in all directions. The very walls pulse with divine energy, shimmering with an otherworldly glow, one adorned with symbols of unimaginable power. These are not mere thrones, but seats of dominion over time, space, and fate. This is the heart of the gods' empire, their domain, and it is here that you will face them, the rulers of the universe, the ones who have shaped the world in their image. And there they are, the gods at the center of the hall. Atop their mighty thrones, they sit in regal silence. Tastes of not speak, but their presence is suffocating. They radiate an aura of pure power, their eyes burning with an ancient fire. They are ancient beings, older than time itself, their bodies forged from the very fabric of the cosmos. They are magnificent, terrifying, and ultimately they are human, flawed, insecure, afraid. Zeus, their leader, stands first, his thunderous voice echoing through the hall. "You dare challenge the gods," he demands, his eyes flashing with contempt. His voice is the sound of storms, of crashing waves, of the force of nature itself. You are nothing but a child playing at power. A fleeting moment in time. You think you can defy us. You think you can take our place. The gods' voices rise, one after the other, echoing through the hall. Each one speaks of their superiority, their divine right to rule. But as they speak, you realize something. They are not just speaking of power. They fear you. They fear what you've become. They fear what you can do. They fear that your power is not just a reflection of time, it's time itself. and time is a force that even gods cannot control. I am not here to replace you, you say, your voice steady and unwavering. I am here to free the world from your grip. Zeus's gaze darkens, and for a moment, feels as though the entire universe holds its breath. The gods have been unchallenged for eons, and now they face a mortal titan who has unlocked the very power they sought to contain. But you do not waver. You cannot win, he declares, stepping forward. His hand raises, and the skies above crack open. Thunder rumbles as lightning crackles in the air, and for a moment, you feel the full force of the storm coursing through him. But you are no longer afraid. The power of Kronos surges within you, a calm and steady force that counteracts his chaotic energy. You can feel time itself bending to your will, slowing, stopping, and then moving forward with an unstoppable force. You've underestimated me, you say, your voice calm, almost bored. With a flick of your wrist, you slow the world around you. The god's lightning freezes in midair, suspended, their attacks powerless against the strength of Kronos' will. You move through the frozen world with ease, your every step deliberate. The gods' faces are filled with a mix of awe and terror. They know what you are capable of, and they know they are losing. As you stand before them, you see it their weakness. The gods are not gods. They are rulers, yes, but their power comes from the manipulation of time and space, not from an innate superiority. They are bound to the very thing they control. And now, you have control over it all. The power they wield is nothing compared to what you have become. And with this knowledge, you know that you will win. Your time has come, you declare, your voice ringing. With finality, it ends today. The gods will fall, their reign will end, and the world will be free from their grasp. The gods' palace falls into a deep silence, as though the very air is holding its breath. Their divine faces, once so proud, now show the cracks of uncertainty. The arrogance that has sustained them for eons begins to erode. They are gods, yes, but even gods are not immune to fear. They've ruled over time and space, bending the world to their will. But they never accounted for one thing. Your control over time is undeniable now. With a single thought, you freeze the very heartbeat of the universe. Time stills in an instant. The gods, the once immovable force of nature, are nothing but statues in your presence. You can feel the pulse of Kronos inside you, strong, steady, constant. You are the master of time. You are its ruler now. Zeus's eyes burn with rage, his form pulsing with divine energy. You think you can destroy us, mortal? He spits, his voice a deep rumble of fury and disbelief. But there's something else in his voice now. Something softer. Something that wasn't there before. It's fear. Fear that you have the power to undo everything he and the other gods have built. I do not wish to destroy you, you reply, your voice still calm, as if this were just another day. I wish only to set the world free from you. There is no longer any trace of hesitation in your heart. The weight of your decision no longer burdens you. You know what must be done. The gods have lived in their divine towers, unchallenged, for too long. Their time is over. You move forward and time moves with you. With a flick of your hand, you send the gods reeling. Every moment of their divine lives, every manipulation of time they've ever used, comes rushing back to them. They feel the weight of every second, every decision, every lie. Time has no mercy, and it shows them the truth, how they have used mortals as pawns, how they have twisted and corrupted time itself to keep their reign unchallenged. But the battle isn't won yet. You know the gods have one last weapon left it. Weapon even you may not fully understand. They do not give up easily, and in their desperation, they turn to the only thing they have left, their bond with time itself. They have lived so long, their existence so intertwined with the passage of time, that it has become their essence. To challenge them now is to challenge the very concept of existence. The gods are not simply beings of power, they are the fabric of the universe. The ground shakes, the sky darkens, and you feel a shift or rupture in time. You can sense it, an almost primordial energy that twists through the very air, something ancient and overwhelming. The gods are calling on something deeper now. They are bending time itself in an attempt to reverse the flow of this moment, to reset the balance, to erase your victory before it even begins. For a second, everything freezes. The gods are trying to reset time. They are attempting to rewind, to erase your actions, to undo everything you've done. You feel the weight of their will, the full force of their divine presence pushing against you. But you are no longer the Titan who once served them. You are the master of time, and you will not allow them to win. You press forward, your heart pounding with the sheer intensity of this final battle. You fight not with weapons or physical strength, but with the very essence of existence itself. You bend time around you, weaving its threads into your will. The gods struggle against you, their divine hands grasping at the unraveling fabric of reality, but it's futile. You are the storm now, the one who controls the winds of time. You are time. A blinding flash of light erupts, and the world around you warps and shifts. The gods' final attempt to undo your actions collides with the full force of Chronos' power. The two forces clash in a deafening explosion that shakes the heavens themselves. For a moment, everything is consumed by light, by energy, by the clash of divine power. And then, as quickly as it began, it's over. The gods fall silent. Their thrones, their domains, their very existence, all of it begins to unravel. The divine pillars that once held them aloft crumble into dust. The gods, once so powerful, so untouchable, now stand before you as mere mortals. Their divine energy flickers, dimming like a dying flame. Zeus's voice, once so filled with arrogance, is now but a whisper. "What have you done?" he asks, his tone filled with a mix of awe and despair. "I've done what you refused to do," you reply, your voice strong. "I've freed the world from the chains of your tyranny. Your reign ends now," and with that, you make your final move. You stretch out your hand, and time itself bends in response. The gods' divine forms flicker, their connection to the universe snapping like a thread. The world around them fades, their once immense power slipping through their fingers like sand. The gods are gone. They are nothing but whispers in the wind, fading into the void. Their palaces crumble to nothingness, their thrones falling into ruin. The world you once knew is no more. The gods are no longer here to manipulate it, to shape it according to their will. You and the people who have fought alongside you stand at the center of a new world. It is a world not bound by divine rule, not shaped by the hands of those who sought to control time itself. But as the dust settles, a new realization hits you. The battle is over. Yes, the gods are gone. But the power you wield is not without consequence. Time is not just a tool, it is a part of you. And now, as the master of time, you must guide the world into a new era, one that is free but also fragile. The weight of Chronos' power still pulses within you, and you know that you must wield it carefully. The gods have fallen, and the world is yours to shape. But in this new beginning, you must also remember the cost of power. For the one who controls time can shape history, but they can also destroy it. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: you are the master of it now. The world that remains after the fall of the gods is still, almost eerily so. The once thriving halls of divine power have crumbled, and their majestic palaces, towering above the earth, have turned to dust, to the winds, and in their place, a profound silence blankets everything. The universe feels lighter, as though a great weight has been lifted, but that silence is deafening. It's the silence of a world unshackled, but also unformed free. But in chaos, you stand alone amidst the ruins, the echo of your victory ringing in your ears. But the victory is bittersweet. The gods are gone, but the cost of their fall is still evident in every breath you take, every flicker of time that surrounds you. The very fabric of reality feels stretched thin, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Who believed in the vision of a free world? They are staring at you, not with the worshipful awe they once held for the gods, but with something else. It's respect, yes, but also wariness. They know, just as you do, that the world you have won is a fragile one. You have brought them freedom, but what will they do with it? What will you do with it? They controlled time, kept it moving in a constant cycle. Their absence has created a vacuum, and you know that this vacuum cannot remain for long. The very forces of the universe demand balance. Time, as it turns out, is not just a tool or a weapon, it is a foundation. May be free of the gods, but it is also lost, and you, as its new master, must decide what to do next. You feel the weight of Chronos' power within you, heavy and unyielding. It is not just a part of you, it is you. Time, in all its complexities, pulses through your veins, and you understand now that it cannot be wielded recklessly. The gods never realized this, their arrogance blinding them to the truth. Time is not just a resource to be used or controlled. It is a force that shapes existence itself. A moment you question whether you made the right decision. The gods are gone, yes, but at what cost? You have freed the world, but in doing so, you have become bound to it in ways you never expected. Time flows through you, but it also pulls at you, drags at you like an undertow. You can feel it in every thought, in every breath. The power of Chronos is both a gift and a curse, and you are its unwilling servant as you stand in the ruins. A voice calls out from the crowd of your followers, a voice that trembles with uncertainty. What happens now? The gods are gone, but how do we rebuild? How do we move forward? The gods' reign may have ended, but that does not mean the world is ready for the next chapter. You have freed them from the gods, but they still need guidance. You must now become something more: a leader, a ruler, perhaps even a creator. The world needs structure, but can you provide it? Will you provide it? You know you cannot do this alone. Is to accept responsibility not just for yourself, but for the entire world. The future is yours to shape, but it must be shaped with care. You must find a way to balance this power, to create a new order without falling into the same traps the gods did. Your mind races, how they manipulated mortals to serve their needs. You think of the mortals, of the ones who fought with you, who believed in your cause. They are the key. They need someone to show them the way, someone who can balance the delicate threads of power and freedom. You turn to your followers, the ones who stand by your side, the ones who have fought and bled for this moment. You raise your hand, and the world seems to pause. They are waiting for you to speak. They are waiting for you to lead. We are free, you say, your voice carrying across the expanse. The gods are no more. But freedom is not given, it is earned. We have the power to shape this world, but we must do it together. We must be the architects of our own future. We will not follow the path of the gods, but we will not fall into chaos either. We will build something new, something stronger, something that lasts. There is a silence for a moment, a pause as the weight of your words settles over the crowd. And then, as one, they begin to cheer. This moment, and now, they are ready to rebuild. But even as you stand in the center of their applause, you know the truth. This victory is only the beginning. The world is free from the gods, yes, but it is also unformed, one who will shape the future. But you are also the one who will determine if this new world will thrive or collapse. The gods have fallen, but the journey does not end here. The future is unwritten, and it is yours to write. The world around you is beginning to take shape once again, but with every step you take in the wake of the gods' downfall, you realize how fragile it all is. The gods are gone, yes, but in their absence, there is a vacuum of void that seems to stretch across the heavens and the earth alike. Without their divine presence to guide it, the world seems to be holding its breath, unsure of what comes next. You have freed the people, liberated them from the tyranny of gods who saw them as mere pawns. But freedom is not a simple thing. It is a vast open sea, and without a steady hand at the helm, it could become as chaotic as the storms you fought to end. As you stand before your followers, the weight of your responsibilities settles in. The cheers, the cries of triumph are deafening, but they carry with them an unspoken question. What now? You have defeated the gods, but can you lead the world you have won? You are their symbol of freedom, their savior, but symbols alone do not govern nations. You've taken the mantle of the divine, and now you must decide what kind of ruler you will be. What kind of legacy will you leave? The crowd before you, their faces filled with hope, are waiting for you to show them the way. They are not simply followers, they are the architects of this new world, and they need direction. The question hangs in the air like a sword poised over your head. Can you create a new order? One that doesn't repeat the mistakes of the gods? You've freed them from divine rule, but that freedom comes with a price. The gods may have controlled time, but you now know that control over the future is not something that can be wielded isolely. The universe itself has a rhythm, a flow that cannot be ignored. Time, space, fate, they are not simply tools to be used. They are the foundation of existence. And you, who have become one with time, must decide whether to shape that foundation into something new or to let it crumble into chaos. The gods created their world by controlling time, manipulating the very fabric of existence to suit their whims. They imposed their will upon the world, using mortals as their instruments. You have done the opposite. You have destroyed that control. But in doing so, you have also broken the cycle. The world is unbalanced, and you can feel the tremors of that imbalance beneath your feet. In the distance, you see the ruins of the gods' empire, the crumbling remnants of their once great palaces. Their power was built upon a litha idea that time was something to be controlled, that it could be shaped and bent by the hands of the divine. But time is not a tool. It is the very fabric of existence, the force that binds all things together. The gods used it to enslave the world, but now, with their fall, you are left to pick up the pieces. You know what must be done. You cannot simply allow the world to fall into chaos. The people need leadership, guidance, but you cannot lead them the way the gods did. The gods believed they were above mortals, but they were just as flawed as anyone else. You are not above them. You are one. Of them, you are not a god, nor do you wish to be. You are a ruler, a creator, and that is enough. The world needs structure, yes, but it also needs something more, something the gods never gave it: freedom. The gods ruled through fear and manipulation. They controlled time, controlled the lives of mortals, and in doing so, they stifled growth, creativity, and the very essence of life itself. You have taken their place, but you will not make the same mistakes. You will not rule through fear. You will rule through understanding. You step forward, your voice carrying across the crowd a mixture of strength and humility. The world is ours to shape. You say, your words resonating with the power of Kronos himself, but it is not mine to control. The gods were wrong to believe they could shape the world according to their will. We will build something better, something stronger, something that grows with time, not against it. We will create a new world, but it will not be built on the ruins of the old. It will be built on the freedom of every individual, on the idea that each of us has the right to shape our own destiny. There is a moment of silence as your words sink in. You see the faces of your followers, their eyes filled with hope, with understanding. They do not need you to be a god. They need you to be their leader, to guide them toward a future they can build together. We are the creators now, you continue. We will not rely on divine power or manipulation. We will use our own hands, our own minds, to shape the future. We will rebuild the world, not as slaves to time, but as masters of our own fate. The crowd erupts into cheers once more, but this time it's different. There is no blind worship. In their cries, there is no fear. There is only a shared sense of purpose, of unity. They are ready to build this new world with you, ready to stand beside you as equals, not subjects. As you look around, you see the first seeds of the new world taking root. The gods may be gone, but their empire will not be forgotten. It will serve as a reminder of what happens when power is allowed to grow unchecked, when rulers forget their place in the universe. You will build something better. You will create a world that honors the value of each life, each moment. Time will no longer be something to fear or control. It will be something to cherish, something to live with, something to shape in ways the gods never could. And with that, you know that the true work begins. The gods are gone, but you are not alone. You have the people, you have the power, and you have the future ahead of you. The path will not be easy. There will be struggles, challenges, but you are no longer the servant of time. You are its master, its guide, and the world will follow. The gods have fallen, but the world is yours to shape. The world is, at last, in your hands. The gods have fallen, their reign wiped away by your resolve, your power, and the collective will of those who followed you. The ruins of their empire lie in silent testimony to their arrogance, their pride, and their ultimate downfall. But even as you stand on the precipice of this new beginning, the weight of leadership presses heavily upon your shoulders. The world is free from the gods, but what now? What kind of world will emerge from the ashes of divine rule? You look out over the vast plains, the once dominant spires of the gods' citadels now mere shadows on the horizon. The silence that follows. Their fall is almost oppressive, and for a brief moment, you wonder if you made a mistake. The gods were flawed, yes, but at least they provided structure. At least they kept the world in balance, even if that balance was achieved through fear. Now, that balance is gone, and you are left to fill the void. You are not a god, nor do you want to be, but you are something else: a leader, a creator, a force in the world. And the weight of that role settles heavily on your chest. You turn away from the ruins, the faces of your followers still fresh in your mind. They are waiting for you, looking to you for guidance. The battle is over, but the real work has just begun. You cannot simply let the world rebuild itself. You cannot leave it to chance, to the whims of time. You must shape it, carefully, thoughtfully, because the freedom you have given the world comes with a great responsibility. The world will no longer be shaped by the hands of the gods, but by the hands of mortals, and those hands are untested, untried, as you begin to walk through the remnants of the gods' empire. You see the broken statues, the crumbled altars, the shattered thrones. These were once symbols of divine power, of the gods' unshakable rule. Now they are nothing. They are memories, remnants of an era that has passed. And you wonder if it was ever truly the gods' power that held the world together, or if it was their illusion of control that kept everything from unraveling. But this is not the time for doubt. You cannot afford to second-guess yourself now. The people are looking to you, to your vision of what the future should be. The world is free, but it is also fragile. You must help it heal, guide it toward something better. But what does a better world look like? What is the vision you have? The one you will bring to life? It is not enough to simply tear down the gods. You must rebuild the world on a foundation that is stronger than divine rule, stronger than anything the gods could have created. It must be a world where every person has the right to choose their destiny, where power is shared, not hoarded. A world where no one is beholden to a higher power, where time is no longer a tool to be manipulated, but a force to be lived with. Time, after all, is not just a weapon, it is life itself. As you walk, your thoughts turn inward and you remember the cost of all this power. The gods were not just defeated, they were erased. The world you saved is one without their influence, but it is also one without their guidance. You are not their equal, You never were. You were born to serve them, and now you are their heir. But you know this: you will not make their mistakes. You will not become the tyrant they were. You will learn to wield your power with care, with wisdom. And yet, as you ponder the future, you realize that this new world will not be born from your hands alone. It will be born from the collective will of those who fought beside you. You are not the sole creator of this new era. You are merely one player in a much larger game. The true power lies in the people who believed in you, in those who stood by you when the gods were still alive, when the world seemed lost. They are the ones who will shape the future. You can guide them, yes, but you cannot do it for them. You stop, standing on the edge of a vast field, the remnants of the gods' empire spread out before you. The sun is setting in the distance, casting a warm glow across the land. It is a peaceful scene, and for a moment you allow yourself to relax, to breathe in the calm. The storm of battle has passed, and now there is only the quiet aftermath. The world is waiting for you, and for the first time in your life, you are free to shape it as you see fit. But freedom, you know, is a fragile thing. It must be nurtured. It must be protected. The people who followed you into battle did not do so because they expected you to rule over them. They did so because they believed in something better. They believed in a world where the gods no longer dictated their lives. They believed in a future where they could stand on their own, where they could shape their own destinies. As the sun sinks lower, you realize that the future is not set in stone. It is not a predetermined path, not one that can be laid out before you. It is something that must be built, carefully, thoughtfully, and you are not alone in this. You have your followers, your allies, and they will help you shape this new world. You will not be the sole ruler. You will be the guide, the leader, the one who sets the course. But it will be the people who build it. With this realization, you feel a new sense of purpose surge through you. The gods may be gone, but you have not inherited their throne. You have inherited their mistakes. You will not be like them. You will build a world where power is shared, where each person's life matters, where the future is not shaped by divine rule, but by the hands of mortals. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it. The gods have fallen. The world is free. And now the real work begins. The days after the gods' fall pass in a blur. The world, once a kingdom of divine power and immortal rule, is now a realm of fragile freedom. You have taken your first steps in shaping this new world, but with each step you feel the weight of the future bearing down upon you. The gods are gone, and their empire is no more, but their legacy, their influences, not so easily erased. The world is free, but it is not yet stable. It needs guidance, structure, but most importantly, it needs trust. You cannot lead the world alone. You need the support of those who followed you into battle, those who believed in the vision of a future without the gods. Together, you will rebuild, but this world must be built on equality, on the foundation of the belief that no one is above the other. As you walk through the ruins of the gods' once glorious city, the place where they ruled for eons, you feel a strange sense of finality. Their palaces have crumbled, their thrones abandoned. The divine glow that once illuminated the halls is now gone, leaving only darkness in its wake. The gods' power was immense, but their hubris was their undoing. They believed themselves untouchable, beyond the reach of mortals. And now, they are nothing but echoes in the wind. Yet their power has left a mark, a stain on the fabric of reality itself. It's a reminder that nothing, no matter how powerful, is eternal. The people of the world are beginning to rebuild. The fight for freedom has not been easy, and the scars of war are still fresh. Ashes, the cities that once worshipped the gods, are now being rebuilt by those who fought against their oppression. Mortals are free to live as they choose, free to govern themselves without fear of divine intervention. From the gods' control is becoming a reality, but freedom is not a simple thing. It is a complex, fragile entity. Without the gods to impose order, the world teeters on the edge of chaos. The absence of the divine balance that once governed the flow of time is felt in every corner of existence. You, as the one who brought down the gods, now bear the responsibility of creating a new order. You are not just a symbol of rebellion anymore. You are the architect of this new world. You must build it carefully, slowly, because you know that the power you possess is not something to be wielded recklessly. You have seen what happens when power is taken too far. You will not make that mistake. You gather those who once stood at your side in battle. They are your closest allies, the ones who fought beside you when hope seemed lost. They are not gods, they are mortals, just like you. They have no divine power, no ability to bend time and space to their will, but they have something more important. They have heart. Together, you will rebuild the world, not as gods, but as equals. We must build a new world, you say, your voice carrying the weight of everything you've learned, everything you've fought for. A world where no one is born to serve, where no one is born beneath the gods. The people around you nod in agreement, their faces determined. They know that the world is still fragile, still on the edge of a precipice. But they also know that they are the ones who will shape it. They are the ones who will create a future that belongs to them, not to the gods. You begin the work of rebuilding, not just the physical cities, but the systems that will govern them. The gods are gone, but their ways cannot simply be forgotten. They ruled through fear, through manipulation, and you will not repeat that. The future must be built on a foundation of equality. Allies and begin to form councils, gatherings of leaders chosen by the people. These councils will govern, make decisions, but they will do so not through fear, but through consensus. There will be no more thrones, no more divine mandates. There will be only unity, cooperation, and shared responsibility. But as you work to rebuild, there are those who resist. Not everyone is ready to accept this new world. Some of the gods' former champions, those who still cling to the old ways, see this as an opportunity to seize power for themselves. The road ahead is not without its dangers, and the fight for true freedom is far from over. But you are not the same person who once served the gods. You have the power of Chronos, the power to shape time itself, but you also have something more important. You have the will to create something better. The gods used their power to control, to dominate, but you will use your power to protect, to guide. You will not rule like the gods did, but you will lead. You will guide this new world into a future that is free from tyranny, free from the shackles of divine rule. And so, as you stand at the center of this new world, the world you have fought so hard to create, you know that the journey is far from over. The gods are gone, but their legacy remains, a reminder that power must always be held in check. You will continue to guide the people, to protect them from those who would seek to abuse the freedom they have gained, fall into chaos. You will build a world that is just, that is fair, and that honors the freedoms of every individual. The gods have fallen, but the world is not yet finished. You take your first step into the future of mortals, the future of freedom, the future of time itself. As the sun rises over the ruins of the gods' empire, a new world begins to take shape, one free from divine rule, yet shaped by the lessons of the past. The gods are gone, their temples shattered, their thrones abandoned, but the world they left behind is far from empty. You stand amidst the remnants of their reign, the weight of your power heavy in your chest. You have defeated the gods, toppled their empire, but what comes next? What kind of world will you leave in the wake of their destruction? The silence that once followed their fall has now transformed into something different: anticipation. The world is watching, waiting for the next step. You are the one who brought down the gods, but now you must prove that your victory was not just a moment of defiance, but the beginning of something better. The world has been freed, but it is still fragile. It is still a world on the edge, one that could easily slip back into chaos without the guidance of strong hands. The people you fought for, the ones who once lived in the shadow of the gods, now look to you. They do not see a god before them. They do not see a ruler of the heavens. They see a mortal, someone who has walked the same path they have, someone who knows the value of freedom because they fought for it. The weight of leadership now rests on your shoulders, but you are not alone. The people are with you, and together you will rebuild. The world you once knew is gone. There are no more gods to dictate the flow of time, no more divine forces to control the lives of mortals. There is no longer any absolute power. Time itself, once manipulated and bent to the will of the gods, now flows freely, untouched by their influence. And it is in this freedom that you see the true challenge ahead. For with freedom comes choice. The gods gave mortals no such privilege. Their will was law, their decisions final. But now the world is free, and that freedom, so long as it is cherished and nurtured, must be upheld by the very hands of those who now live in it. The world has no divine rulers to shape it, no higher power to impose order. The people must now govern themselves, and the councils you have helped create will play a crucial role in this process. But there is still uncertainty. The gods may have fallen, but their influence remains, woven into the very fabric of reality. Their power is not easily erased, and there are still remnants of their rule scattered throughout the world. Some of your allies worry that the freedom you have fought for will be There are those who still yearn for the gods' return, who believe the old order was necessary, who fear what the future holds. They do not yet understand the nature of true freedom. And so you work. The councils grow. The world is rebuilt slowly, but surely, but always under the shadow of that lingering question: will this new world last? Will it be enough? You cannot be everywhere at once. You cannot see every threat, every whisper of rebellion before it begins. The gods were omnipotent in their realm, but you are bound by the limits of mortality. You cannot fight every battle. You cannot control everything, but that is not the burden of a leader. Your task is not to rule with an iron fist, as the gods once did. Your task is to guide, to help the people of the world understand the value of their freedom, and to show them that their future lies not in the hands of the gods, but in their own hands. It will take time, but you are not alone in this. You have your allies, your followers, the ones who fought beside you. They are the ones who will help carry the weight of this new world, who will build it alongside you, and as the years pass, you begin to see the change. The world that was once shaped by the gods' whims is now being shaped by the hands of mortals. It is a world of imperfection, yes, but it is also a world of hope. It is a world where the people have the power to choose their destiny, where no one is born beneath the gods. It is a world where time, once controlled by the divine, is now free to flow as it will, and the choices made in the present will shape the future. The gods have fallen, but their legacy lives on, not in their power but in the lessons they left behind. The world is no longer a place where immortals rule, where time is manipulated to serve the whims of the few. It is a world of possibilities, a world where every individual has the right to shape their own future. As you look to the horizon, the sun setting on this new world, you realize that the journey is far from over. The gods are gone, but the road ahead is still uncertain. The world is free, but it must be protected, nurtured, and guided. And that is your task now. You are not a god, and you will never be. But you are a leader, and that is enough. The world has been shaped by the gods, but it will be shaped by mortals now. And with that thought, you take your first step into the future of the world, the future of time itself. The winds have calmed now. The battle is over. The world is free, but it is a quiet freedom. A world still in the process of rebuilding, still in the process of finding its balance. The ruins of the gods' empire are now distant memories, fading into the past, but the lessons they left behind will linger forever. The gods are gone, but their legacy, both the lessons of tyranny and the cost of power, are still etched into the fabric of the universe. As the days pass, you find solace in the quiet. The world is no longer a battleground, but a canvas waiting to be painted. The people have chosen their future, and it is a future of their own making. There are no more gods to dictate their lives, no more divine forces to bend them to their will. There is only time flowing forward, ever-changing. And as you stand at the edge of this new world, watching the sun dip below the horizon, you realize that you are not alone. The future is not yours to control, but it is yours to shape. You have done your part, and now the world will continue on. It is a world of freedom, of choice, of possibilities. And as time marches on, you will be there, guiding it gently, watching as it unfolds. So as the night falls, you take a deep breath, and for the first time, you truly understand. You are not a god. You are the master of time, and time, like everything else, belongs to the world now.